I can do a quick one. It's like very much work in progress, more like a thought than going to be in the product. But one of the things I've been thinking about a bunch is how to make it easy to build up context, in particular for AI, and how do you help sort of onboard new data sets or new data model or databases in general. So one of the things I'm thinking about is like how do we help basically build workflow into the modeling experience. This is obviously hideous. Like most of my demos, this will need a lot of love, and we want to think through the UX. But the sort of thought is how do we help folks basically build up what amount to be like the questions that their business will be asking to, and then effectively have a workflow to help tune the model to be able to improve it. So just as an example, like this is a really like clean kind of data model with not a ton. You can basically build the sort of set of prompts, see what the result would be, effectively take action on it. That's an interesting thing. You take action on it, or like basically track feedback basically through this mechanism here. That in the example, like most of them are good. This is a good example of something that is not modeled. And really is going to fail effectively. Like we're going to ask for sort of clarification here, and really, the thought is, hey, this is going to help drive what things should be modeled and how we should, what we ultimately, if this golden set or the a prompt set can actually be answered by AI with sort of modeled constructs. You can basically give it sort of like a verified query or give it an example. Then at least we should sort of be able to tune the AI to be able to go and point to it to the extent that, like in this case, basically we don't have enough context. We don't know what overdue means. It's completely reasonable, for the AI to push back on it. How can we basically go and define something like this?
So I'd actually prefer that we try to answer it. I think it does a much better job when you say, like, what are the highest risk deals, and it answers the question versus all of this forced clarification.
Oh, this is not me do the demo. This is basically what we do anyways already. The demo.
Okay. This has gotten much worse though, to be honest. Like, it's gotten way too over aggressive with asking for clarification, and we need to go fix it.
Yeah, I think that's likely true too. I think the big change is effectively we went from Sonnet to Haiku 4.5, and like that
Yep.
seems to be the process for it too. Yeah, the meta piece that I'm sort of trying to show is, hey, how do you build a workflow, go from questions to see examples, and like ultimately wanting users to be able to build up effectively. Like if you have modeled constructs or like sort of modeled constructs that can be uh, created on top of the existing model to answer questions, then we sort of are in a good spot. Whereas a lot of times folks will like literally not have it. So like the AI can't go and invent it all.
Yep.
Jamie, the workflow you're showing, it's one of the intents is to be like the much more guided kind of what we do during an eval, where we're like, if it's an AI eval and you have your set of questions, let's walk through answering them. And by answering them, you're actually building the model as you go. This is like a more productized flow.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's sort of like we talk a lot about, hey, we want to make it really easy for folks to basically consume data model and augment it in the workbook in any interface they want to, and ultimately build feedback loops and mechanisms so that usage can basically inform the data model. So like if you create a new field in an Excel calc, we progressively harden that and sort of save it to the model or save it to the shared model or put it in whatever data warehouse or a semantic view outside of Omni. We want to make that super easy. This is basically how do we help sort of folks kind of walk through, in a structured way. These are the types of questions I want to answer, and ensure that we've got sort of, if you don't have data model to give the sort of golden answer for it, like then you clearly have to go do a little bit more work to provide it. And if you haven't provided context for the AI, like maybe the example I gave, to clarify it, or sort of, you want to be able to put the context basically present so the end users don't have to enumerate it, because like the back and forth is not great. Like you want it to be sort of single shot answers ideally. And maybe the one other meta thing too is over time you could actually build up something like an eval set that basically we maybe periodically run, or you can sort of augment the eval set based on usage data. So like in analytics you can see like here are all the queries that people are actually asking of the data set. Like let's add those to eval to make sure we're doing it. So these sort of like productizing some of the workflow we recommend folks do, but like how do we pull it into the experience, sort of in the modeling, the modeling experience in the workbook today is really driven by this now topic viewer.